Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into a microphone. Why? Just because I can, and I continue with Mass Effect 2 Legendary Edition. Last time I recruited Garrus, so let's go around the ship and talk to everyone.
Commander, can I help you with something?
I'm more interested in just talking for a bit.
Sounds good. Have to say you run this ship tight, and we're getting things done. We keep on track and maybe we'll figure this out. I hope so. I'm not looking forward to the debrief if it all goes to hell. Is there something specific? Or are you just checking in?
I like to know my crew. Forget procedure. Tell me about yourself.
Informal, huh? Everything's in my file. Ex-Alliance like you, no Reapers or anything, but I got swept under the rug too. The more good you do, the less they want to admit that something needed doing.
What was your proudest career moment?
Covered this, didn't we? It was after getting sidelined. A Batarian group was plotting to release a weaponized virus and kill the Council. Miranda and I stopped it.
Strange that it wasn't bigger news.
The real work doesn't get publicized, you know that. They say it's better that people don't know how fragile the system is or how close the bad guys can get. So, it never happened. Like you and the Reaper. And that's why I'm here.
What led you to Cerberus?
The Alliance sidelined me after Eden Prime. Ended up on a job with Miranda that Cerberus treated like an audition. And here I am.
You don't seem like a results-at-all-costs kind of guy. Cerberus history doesn't bother you?
The Alliance is all politics. Somebody has to take down the bad people. Cerberus keeps that line, I'm on their side.
You make no apologies for doing what you had to. I admire that.
I couldn't go back to the Alliance, not after the cover-up. They did the same to you. General public never knew you were dead or heard the real story of the Citadel. Did you know they used you on recruitment ads? You were the human ideal for like 6 months. Then they replaced you with a composite image they invented. Guess you didn't focus test right. You were actually the Alliance poster boy, and they still dumped you.
We'll rub it in their faces when we save their hides again.
Sounds good. Add that to the list of reasons to make it out alive. Besides not wanting to die.
Again?
Fair enough. I should get back to work. Good talking to you, Shepard.
Now, I dislike it that sometimes it's rather cryptic what the actual response is going to be based on the short summary that you're given. So sometimes he ends up saying stuff that I wouldn't necessarily want him to say.
Commander, you've received a new message at your private terminal. How is our newest Turian crew member doing? His injuries looked painful.
He's a soldier. It'll take a lot more than that to keep him down.
There's something about him. I just want to hold him close and whisper, "It will be all right."
Are you attracted to other species?
Well, part of my job is predicting the motives and feelings of humans and aliens. Intimacy brings understanding. And passion is nice wherever you find it. Character matters, not race or gender. Anything else, Commander?
Is there anything I should know?
You have unread messages at your private terminal. Anything else, Commander?
Do you have a moment to talk?
I always have time for you, Commander.
I better go.
Okay. Maybe we'll talk later.
Server's command request. Reports tell us that you've been operating in the Omega Nebula. We'd like you to look into a situation on Lorek, a nearby planet in the Father system. Scan the planet for a base where we believe Eclipse mercs are holding one of our operatives. You should be able to detect the operative's transmitter, extract the operative. If the operative is beyond rescue, recover any relevant intel that the Eclipse may have collected. This is a very delicate matter. We trust in your discretion. And glad I didn't sign up. From John Whitson. Hey, Arya gave me this address. I think I met you at Afterlife on Omega. You stopped me from joining up with those mercs who were trying to take out Archangel. Man, I was so pissed off at you. I got blind drunk that night, and it was a few days later before I got together enough to check the news vids and saw that almost all the mercs had gotten killed by Archangel. I don't know who you are, or if you get out of there alive yourself, but thanks. I felt really stupid when I heard about the body count and how I could have been a part of it. I'll make the most of what you did for me. John Whitson. Okay, let's go talk to Joker and then make the rounds. I do like the messages system is such a simple thing, but I think it does bring a lot of flavor. You get references to the first game a lot, and as I said, it's a simple message, but it's nice to have a follow-up even on like the very minor stuff that you have done.
Hey, Commander, we got Garrus back. That's great, because he was totally my favorite. With that pole up his ass.
I assume everything is going well up here?
We're just having an argument over personalization of my workspace.
Cerberus regulations are clear, Mr. Moreau. Personalization does not include grease on my bridge cameras.
It's just mad that all its footage of me looks like a dream sequence.
What do you think about the people we're picking up?
Well, about the ones you went out with last, I would never say anything against Miranda and expect to survive the reprisal. Zaeed is like you, but takes checks. As long as it's not my money, we're good. It's just my opinion, though. There's really no need to go spreading it around.
That's it for now.
See you, Commander.
I will actually change my armor, because I got a couple of armor pieces. I also got a couple of models to display right here. So this gives me better shield regeneration, and this gives me better running. And I get my own private toilet as opposed to everyone else who they have to use the communal one. Which, you know, it would be pretty annoying if I had to get out of my own quarters and use a freaking elevator to go to a different deck altogether just to use the crapper.
I've got green across the board. The forward tanks are buoyant and elevated.
Are you talking about the Normandy or Miranda?
I'm talking about the one that's covered and protected, not bouncing in the breeze.
I don't know. Operative Lawson's uniform is very official. It always makes me stand at attention.
You're such a dog.
You're the best, Commander. We just got those FBA couplings installed. Now we only have to calibrate every week instead of every day. We're thinking about celebrating our newfound free time with some Skillian 5 poker. Want to join us?
Come on, Kenneth. The commander doesn't want to play cards with grease monkeys like us.
Actually, that sounds interesting.
Fantastic. I'll get the cards.
My Skillian 5's a bit rusty. You'll be easy on the rookie, right?
Of course, Commander. It's all friendly.
Yeah, right.
You've won 500 credits playing Skillian 5.
Be gentle on the rookie. I can't believe we fell for that.
It's so worth losing to see you taken down a notch.
Beat me at my own game. You're all right, Shepard.
Zaeed is also on this deck. Now, Zaeed doesn't really have normal dialogue. he just offers like snippets of stuff. Apparently he keeps looking at the cameras around the ship.
Hey, don't touch. That rifle's older than you are. I call her Jessie. That's my lucky charm. More men have been killed with that gun than died in the Skillian Blitz. The day I laid her to rest was the saddest day of my life. I give up every weapon I own for one more mission with that shitty old rifle. Oh yeah, that's a model of the Veracon. Turian frigate. Hell of a ship. I led a mission to bring that thing down from the inside with just 5 men and whatever guns we could bring. No chance of success, but we did it. Everyone died but me. So I made out like a bandit. My first impossible mission as an independent contractor. There's been many since, but nothing so goddamn sweet as watching that Turian warship crash planet-side. Beauty, isn't it? Pried that off the Krogan warlord, Gazak. Used to run the blood pack out of Omega about 17 years ago. Wasn't even a job. The guy just thought he'd hijack a freighter I was hitchhiking on. Big mistake. I goaded Gazak into one-on-one combat. Took out his legs, grabbed his gun, and killed every blood pack bastard in the room. That was the most beaten Krogan I've ever seen. Kept the helmet to remind me of that pained expression. Thinking about past missions. Got a minute? You might learn something. So you knew Archangel from before? Interesting. Knew a lot of men taking jobs to kill the son of a bitch. I never saw the point. You and I wanted the same thing. A whole lot of mercs dead. Hell of a sniper, though. And he kept himself alive with all the mercs in Omega after him. That ain't easy. I was trying to remember how many Cerberus operatives I've killed. Lost track around 50. Guess your elusive man's big on forgiveness. I should let you go. Talk more later, Shepard.
He also has a miniature garbage compactor here that you can use to launch garbage into space. Not entirely sure what's the point, but you know, it's just for entertainment factor, I guess.
I should let you go. Talk more later, Shepard. I was down and out when I found that gun. Jessie was the first weapon I got my hands on. Took her everywhere. She didn't have much punch, but reliable as all hell. She'd already been through a lot by the time I got her. Still, I never had to re-sight her once. Damn good rifle. I remember Jessie's first kill. Turian arms dealer out of Omega. I ran through miles of filth and rust to hunt him down. When I finally cornered him, that gun was caked in 2 inches of the foulest sludge you can imagine. But Jessie wanted that Turian dead, so 2 shots. And he died right there. I killed my way across the terminus systems with that gun. Seemed like Jessie wanted to kill more than I did. Bloodthirsty old bitch. I owe half my reputation to that weapon right there. Anytime someone calls me ruthless, relentless, they're talking about that rifle. I don't take Jessie into battle anymore. Had to retire her about 5 years ago. I was hunting down this Batarian slaver. Forgot his name. Not important. Carved my way through 100 Batarian mooks. I don't remember ejecting a clip once. Jessie just kept firing. Reached the slaver and he got in my face, so I went to blow him away and nothing. The old bitch had finally jammed. So I smashed his face in with the butt of the gun and called in the job. After that, Jessie couldn't be fixed. Nothing anyone could do. Like she'd finally had enough blood and was ready to rest. Been resting ever since.
Yeah, that's actually, you know, a carabine design, back from Mass Effect 1. That's why he says it didn't need to eject the thermal clip even once, because there were no such thing as thermal clips back in Mass Effect 1.
I should let you go. Talk more later, Shepard.
It's just too dangerous for them in New Canton. I'm shipping my family back to Earth.
You can afford that?
Cerberus looks out for their own. They're funding the transport for me.
It's the least they can do when we're putting our lives on the line.
How may I help you, Commander?
I have a present for you, Doc.
Ceres ice brandy? You didn't. Thank you. I always regretted not opening that original bottle when I still could. I won't make the same mistake again. Why don't we open this bottle right here, right now, you and me?
You crack open the bottle. I'll get the glasses.
I thought Alenko's biotic display might have broken Jenkins' back, but Jenkins pops up and yells, "That was awesome!" Oh, Jenkins. Soldiers like him make the Alliance great. Cerberus lacks the same enthusiasm.
With your service record, you could have gotten a tour of duty on any Alliance ship. Why'd you really leave?
Maybe it's less about leaving and more about staying. As a military doctor, I mostly treat people who are in bad shape. Often they die. And if I can help them, they move on. Either way, they leave.
Don't you have any friends or family?
No, not lacking friendship. Just stability. Jeff, Joko will always have Vrolik syndrome. He would never admit it, but he needs my help, and he always will. I wish it weren't, but sadly, it's true.
Treating Joker gives you a kind of stability.
So does this ship, even if it's a copy. Or, hell, maybe it's you, Shepard. Our immovable center. A place for a person to stop and catch her breath. Or maybe I'm just happily drunk. Would it hurt if it was simple like that for once?
To the people we care for.
May we never take them for granted.
Access to the AI core is restricted.
Wait, did she get so drunk that she needed to lie down? That's not entirely responsible for a doctor on a mission.
What's this area of the ship?
The gunnery control station. The ship's batteries are controlled from here. The Combat Information Center operators send targeting information here. The CIC decides who to shoot. Gunnery control decides how to shoot.
Shepard, need me for something?
Have the Cerberus crewmen given you any trouble?
I think being part of the team that took down Saren got me some points. Everyone I talked to was polite anyway. Don't worry, Commander. We're all working together.
What can you tell me about the Normandy's armaments?
Looks like Cerberus upgraded what the ship carried before. Should have a bit more kick. I still don't like our chances against a collector ship, though. Not unless we upgrade the guns.
Have you got a minute?
Sure. Just checking the weapon systems. You can never be too careful. I thought I'd seen every weapon in the galaxy in our fight against Saren. Mercenary work showed me otherwise. And now Cerberus rebuilds the Normandy with a few upgrades to boot. I wish we'd joined up with them sooner.
We haven't joined Cerberus. They're funding our mission, that's all.
Relax, Shepard. Just a figure of speech. I can't exactly doubt your judgment. Not after I got my own squad killed.
Tell me about your squad.
There were 12 of us, including me. Former military operatives, CSEC agents, the usual. Had a Solarian explosives expert. Pretty sure he'd spent time in the Special Tasks Group. My tech expert was a Batarian, believe it or not. Not the friendliest guy, but he could hack any system ever built.
What did your merc squad do? It didn't sound like you were available for hire.
You saw Omega. It was full of thugs kicking the helpless. I formed my team to kick back. We weren't mercenaries. At least nobody was paying us. We made money by taking down slavers, pirates, or gangs that went too far.
Doesn't sound like you made any friends with the gangs.
I got 3 separate merc bands to work together to take me down. My manager at CSEC would be impressed. It was simple. We'd hit their shipments, disrupt activities, get under their skin, make them angry. They'd come charging right into our well-prepared kill zone, crossfire and snipers, clean and surgical. They never stood a chance.
Generally, I'm not a big fan of vigilantism, but obviously, at a world like Omega, well, it's not a world, in a place like Omega, you can't really join the police or anything, because there is no police. So, vigilantism is like the only thing that you can do if you care about any semblance of law and order.
How'd you end up fighting mercenaries here on Omega?
I went back to CSEC after the Normandy was destroyed, but with all the rebuilding at the Citadel, there was too much chaos for me to really help. Omega was filled with criminals nobody else could touch, and there was no red tape to slow me down. It was a perfect fit. People here needed someone to believe in, someone to stand up to the local thugs.
That explains how you started. How'd you end up with a squad?
Not too different from how you formed your squad to fight Saren, actually. You prove that you get things done, and people join up. Mercs who wanted to atone. Security consultants tired of playing by the rules. I gave them hope. And now they're dead. Shows what I know.
How did those mercenary gangs take down your team?
It was my own damn fault. One of my people betrayed me. A Turian named Sidonis. He drew me away just before the mercs attacked my squad. Then he disappeared. Everyone except me is dead because of him. And because I didn't see it coming.
I'm not sure I understand. What happened exactly?
Sidonis asked for my help on a job. When I got to the meeting point, nobody was there. By the time I got back to our hideout, the mercs had killed all but 2 of my squad. And they didn't last long.
Do you know where Sidonis is now?
No. His trail vanishes after he leaves Omega, but I'll keep hunting. I lost my whole team except for Sidonis. One day I'll find him and correct that. Thanks for coming by, Shepard. I've got some things to take care of.
Okay, and let's go talk to Miranda.
Commander, what can I do for you?
You have a minute, Miranda?
Of course. I'm just finishing an operation report. I'm impressed, Shepard. So far, things have gone exceptionally well. As Cerberus operations go, this is one of the best I've been a part of.
Maybe that's because this isn't a Cerberus operation.
Not to you, maybe. But I report directly to the elusive man. And I'm here because he wants me to be. Cerberus gave you a second chance, Commander. Maybe you should do the same for us.
What did Cerberus do that made you so loyal?
I suppose you deserve to know. Do you remember when I told you how I was genetically altered? Well, that wasn't my choice. My father created me. He's a very influential man and extremely controlling. He didn't want a daughter. He wanted a dynasty. I ran away as soon as I was old and brave enough. I went to Cerberus because I knew they could protect me.
You seem capable of defending yourself. Why did you need Cerberus?
My father invested a great deal in his dynasty. It wasn't a matter of just leaving. I knew he would continue to pursue his investments.
I assume that Cerberus approved of your enhanced abilities?
Of course. Cerberus fully endorses anything that advances the cause of humanity. Genetic alterations included. But unlike my father and his own selfish reasons, Cerberus and the Elusive Man believe in a greater good. They see the bigger picture, and I feel like I have a purpose here.
Who exactly is your father?
A businessman, but a very wealthy one. It's ironic, my father believed deeply in a human-positive agenda. He donated generously to Cerberus before I joined them. That's how I first heard about Cerberus, through my father's connections.
You talk about yourself like you're just a tool to be used. By your father? By Cerberus?
Maybe. I like to know where I fit in the world. It helps me find meaning in how I was created.
You are who you are, Miranda. You don't need to make excuses for it.
That's easy for you to say. We've both been engineered for greatness, Shepard. The difference is you were great before we rebuilt you. I'm great because of it.
Your spirit and personality are what make you great. It's what makes anyone great.
That's kind of you. I'm not sure I believe you, but thanks for saying it.
Well, I would have said it more generally. I am not necessarily of the opinion that she herself has great spirit and personality. If she did, I don't think she would have been working for Cerberus, and certainly not with such fervor.
You've told me a lot about your father. What happened to your mother?
I never had one. Most of my genetic material is based on my father's tissue. His Y chromosome was altered with an amalgam of desired traits from various sources. How arrogant can you be? The man is completely egomaniacal. Just another reason I had to get away from him.
Thanks for your time, Miranda. I'll talk to you later.
Anytime, Commander.
Okay, I think I'm ready to go back to Omega. I'll take Garrus with me. I dislike this alternate armor, even though at the very least it isn't destroyed, but you get one more once you do his personal quest, so for now I'll leave him in this, and I'll take Jacob, I guess, give him a chance to do something. Massive blast that propels enemies with bone-crushing force, or high explosive charge that gives your shot an impact radius large enough to knock down multiple enemies. Okay, this is pretty interesting. I'll take that. Okay, so this is stronger pool, and this is a group pool, so I'll take this pool field. Okay.
I'm receiving quarantine warnings about the slums where Dr. Morton Solus runs the clinic. Anticipate resistance at the transport station. I have also run searches for reports on Archangel. The various mercenary groups appear to believe that he is dead.
Works for me.
Okay, let's talk to Arya.
What do you need?
This data pad was on one of the mercs for the Patriarch agent. They were coming for you next.
Let me see. Interesting. Would someone like to tell me how this information slipped the net?
I'll look into it.
Thanks for the heads up, Shepard. Looks like I'll have to do a little cleaning in my organization.
Thanks. Maybe I'll come back later.
You do that.
Aria has a job she needs doing. You up for some work?
That depends on what Aria has in mind.
Aria's gotten word that some blood-packed mercs plan to kill an old acquaintance of hers. A Krogan named Patriarch. She'd like you to keep that from happening.
What's the Blood Pack's problem with Patriarch?
If you've met Patriarch, you know. He can't keep his damn mouth shut. Some people don't appreciate his stories, especially when he dips into non-fiction.
What's Aria's interest in protecting him?
Patriarch was one of her deadliest enemies back in the old days. Now she keeps what's left of him around as a trophy. As long as he lives, he's a perfect example of what happens when you go up against Aria.
Why come to me? Aria's usual muscle not up for the job?
Because Aria said so. What other reason do you need?
People like Aria don't do things without a damn good reason. I want to hear it.
Fine, but I didn't tell you this. Got me? If it gets out that Aria's protecting Patriarch, well, that can look like a weakness. And some people might want to exploit that. You're not on her payroll, so you helping Patriarch just seems like a random act of kindness.
I'll look into it.
Good. Patriarch's downstairs, likely surrounded by his fans. Get him into hiding until the mercs move on. Come back here when it's done, and you'll get your due.
I'll be back when the job is done.
Good luck.
Yeah, that was the guy I was looking for actually earlier, because I remembered that there is such a mission with Patriarch.
The attack on the human colony of Freedom's Progress has generated a swift but confused response. 8 vessels have been sent, but it is not clear whether there are survivors.
Isn't he here? Ah, he's in here.
No. You said he had close family. They'll just want revenge. Kill the family first. Then he'll get angry and come at you stupid. And then you kill him. I don't think I know you, human. I'm the Patriarch. Aria's Patriarch. What do you want?
What do you know about Aria?
A few centuries ago, Omega was my rock. When Aria arrived, she had nothing but the clothes on her back. I thought she was another dancer. She killed half my men and convinced the rest that she could run this place better than I did. She came for me here in this bar. We tore this place apart. She crushed one of my hearts, shattered half the bones in my body, and left me alive.
What made her decide to leave you alive?
No, she doesn't destroy what she can use. She said I could have all my old comforts if I served as her advisor. I knew how things worked. I knew who to lean on, who to smack down, who to smile at. And everyone who respected me saw me beaten, broken. They knew that as strong as I'd been, she was stronger.
Rumor has it some people want you dead. Know anything about that?
Oh, I can think of a few. I know things. Old secrets, old grudges. A few floors you can dig up to find bodies underneath. Someone who wanted to weaken Aria might come after me. They do it to get to her, you see. Not for me. I don't matter enough anymore to have enemies of my own.
Why do they call you Patriarch?
It's like an Asari matriarch, only male. It was Arya's little joke. After she took me down, she let me live. Kept me around as an advisor and a trophy.
A Krogan as old as you must have some great stories.
I killed a lot of people, lived well, and was beaten by a small Asari who keeps me around as an example. My time is done. Anyone I killed is long forgotten. The stories are Arya's now.
Some people want you dead. I've been asked to move you to safety.
Well, of course. Arya wouldn't want me hurt. It would make her look bad. But perhaps Arya's reputation is no longer my concern. Perhaps I will stay. See who thinks me important enough to kill.
So there's part of him that probably wants to die, because, you know, he's tired of being basically Arya's trophy, as he himself said. But obviously, if he really wanted to die, like stop living, he could have killed himself a long time ago, or like, you know, tried to flee, which, because I assume he's practically a prisoner, so I don't think she would have let him go. So if he really wanted death, he could have tried killing her for all I know. That would probably end in his death. So let's try to persuade him not to throw his life away.
Here's an idea. Let me handle the assassins for you.
And so your name grows, while I remain an old man who lets others fight his battle.
No. You remain a powerful warlord with forces at his command. Not just Arya's trophy.
Well, you could be my Trent, fighting for my honor. If you would do this for me, I would be grateful. I might even be a Krogan again. You return. I've heard nothing of the assassins. Do you have news? Or have you changed your mind? Shall I slink back to the safety of Arya's protection?
I should be going.
Find the thugs. Yeah, I do happen to believe that they are behind the club.
Out of our way, human.
You here for Patriarch?
What if we are? You gonna do something about it?
Patriarch sent us. Said to do whatever it takes.
You're Patriarch's Krant? I wasn't aware the old man had one.
You should have done your homework.
Killed them all. And everyone knows that the Patriarch is not to be crossed. Thanks to you, Arya may think of me as more than a trophy. A real advisor, maybe. Or even a threat.
Take care, Patriarch.
For the first time, I like that name. By the way, be careful with Arya. She will approve of what you've done, I think. But not of you altering the balance of Omega. I think it reminds her too much of herself.
Explorer ships have reported seeing vessels of an unknown make, but whose silhouette strongly resembles ancient Rachni ship profiles. The few ships sighted have been small scouting vessels that rapidly retreated. The Council has pledged a full investigation.
Arya wants to speak with you. She heard you took on the Blood Pack assassins yourself. I wouldn't keep her waiting.
Word has it that Patriarch's Krant took out the men sent here to kill him. Funny, I didn't know he had a Krant.
Patriarch has more influence than you thought.
I see. Well, maybe I should watch my back then. It's not what I asked, but you got the job done. You've done a lot for me, Shepard. Let me return the favor. We're sending your coordinates to a cache on an uncharted world. You want it? It's yours.
We can use any help we can get.
Whatever you find is yours to deal with.
We friendly enough to talk about who you were before, Omega?
You're reaching back centuries, Shepard. Long before anything that should matter to you.
So why keep it secret?
No reason, from your perspective. But there are plenty of people out there with long memories. I've had a few careers, a few names. Commando training, mercenary leanings. I've kept what was valuable and dropped the baggage.
I thought you were in charge. Why so scared of your past?
I have nothing to fear on Omega. That doesn't mean I want to broadcast my past to the galaxy. You'd be surprised how long some entities can hold a grudge. This little exercise with Patriarch? A footnote. Not even the first Krogan I've pissed off.
You couldn't have started here with nothing. You must have been someone important.
I've always been important, even if others didn't recognize it. So yes, I had money to start this operation. I also had creditors who thought they were more entitled to it. I let them chase a ghost, or several. It's relatively easy to outlive a Solarian, but not their record-keeping.
You're important, but also isolated. No other allies out there to back you up?
I lean toward a particular type of work. It tends to encourage professional rivalry. Sometimes you'd rather disappear than be forced to kill someone.
All right, I'll drop it.
Better luck next time.
Sounds like you and Patriarch have a history.
Our history is Omega's history. Long, bloody, and always ending in my favor. The details are complicated. When I arrived, Omega was lawless, a land of opportunity. I built alliances and destroyed the fools who wouldn't get in line, which was most of them. But Patriarch, he was something different. A powerful friend.
I'm surprised you were ever anything but rivals.
We were allies for 100 years. I suppose he decided that was long enough. Wasn't a surprise when he turned. He controlled the muscle, my people contributed more subtle action. Espionage, politics, assassination. Fortunately for me, his men had become accustomed to certain benefits of working with Asari.
Superior intel? Assassination?
That's cute. No, I took advantage of certain skills my people try to downplay. Patriarch's men abandoned him in droves. In the end, we fought face to face on this very spot. The toughest fight of my life. But of course I won.
Patriarch doesn't sound like something an Asari would come up with.
I found it humorous. He wanted power, and we pretended he had it with a word that doesn't exist for my people. I eventually found a certain respect for the title and the man.
So you kept him around as a trophy?
I did. A trophy and an example. Whenever someone thought about taking me on, I pointed them to Patriarch. Dignity is one of the few commodities not available on Omega.
Interesting, but let's move on.
Do you need something else?
Thanks. Maybe I'll come back later.
Why don't you find a nice girl to keep you warm in the meantime? You look like you need to loosen up a little.
I seen a Borgia shoot a man. Oh no! It was another Borgia.
I'll make a quick run to the shops to see if there's something else that I would want or need from there.
Come on, let me in.
The quarantine zone is that way anyway, so... Okay, I kinda want this. More heavy weapons ammo. I'll buy this.
Now what's this?
Okay, this is pretty cheap. I might buy this. This is a heavy weapon of sorts. The Blackstorm Gravitational Singularity Projector is the brainchild of the weapons designer Ellie Wegner, one of the few humans who have earned the privilege of serving with Asari commando units. Overawed with how the Asari could create biotic singularities to pull opponents out from behind cover, he was determined to duplicate the feat technologically. Wegner's team created a weapon that could elevate target particles of matter to near infinite mass, creating a gravitational singularity and drawing nearby objects inward for a short time. The rapidly increasing gravity rips the target apart as it pulls the enemy closer to the singularity's center. When the mass effect field destabilizes and suddenly returns to normal mass, the result is explosive and inflicts additional trauma on the enemy. The weapon almost didn't happen. Early designs were dangerous and unstable. The science for creating a hyperdense mass effect field was well established, but projecting it at an adjustable range proved elusive. It was only after 6 years of development that the weapon finally qualified for Systems Alliance Advanced Individual Heavy Weapon trials. By that time, the Singularity Projector was rugged, reliable, and easy to use and repair. It immediately went to field tests in a small-scale desert war on Earth, where the weapons terrified opponents who had never seen such effects before. The swirling sand and dust sucked soldiers into the center and served as a centerpiece for many propaganda videos. In the resulting media coverage, the Wegner Arms became known by its simple nickname, the Black Hole Gun. His dream finally a reality, Wegner personally altered its name to a much more marketable Black Storm. Okay, I'll buy it. Doubles the time for a hack. Doesn't really matter. I might buy it later if I have excessive money.
Leader of the Terra Firma Party and former Alliance Parliament candidate, has pled guilty to tax evasion. He is in custody pending sentencing. The Asari Shaira, more commonly known as the Consort, has declined to name the next race likely to gain council membership. However, she suggested an announcement could come soon.
I don't really remember how much money you make in Mass Effect 2.
End is not.
Complaining is pointless, human. There's a plague. Nobody gets in or out.
You can't keep me out. I live in there.
I'm doing you a favor, lady. If you go in, the guards will cut you down.
You can't do this. Everything I own is in that apartment.
I told you to get lost, lady. The plague has the whole zone quarantined. Nobody gets in.
I'm human, you ass. Humans can't get the plague. Now let me get my stuff out before looters get it.
This thing affects every other race out there. We're not taking chances. Nobody gets in until the plague has run its course.
I didn't think Omega had any kind of law enforcement. Who gave the order to quarantine the slums?
Fresh off the transport, huh? Arya Tilok calls the shots around here. She's got her little blue hands on every business in this district. And a plague is bad for business. She hired us to keep anyone from entering or leaving the quarantine zone.
So you're saying the slums are completely sealed off?
Finally, a human that can hear. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
You can't keep me out. I'm gonna lose all my stuff.
I'm doing you a favor, human. Anybody in the quarantine zone will be dead from the plague or the gangs in a few weeks.
There's a Solarian named Morden Solus in the slums. I've got to get in there to find him.
The doctor? Yeah, crazy bastard opened a clinic in the district a few months ago. The Blue Suns weren't too happy when he moved in. I hear Morden's trying to deal with the plague. I wish him luck, but the area is still locked down. Our orders are to wait until either the plague or the Blue Suns kill everyone. Then go in and clean up.
I didn't think diseases could cross species barriers. Turians and Solarians can't even eat the same food.
Right. Most people figure that it has to be synthetic. Somebody engineered it. And it either got loose, or they're testing it here. And seeing as how humans are immune to the plague and doing a fair bit of looting, a lot of people think humans made it.
Who are the Blue Suns?
Mercenary gang that runs the district. At least they used to. The guys are mostly Turian. I heard the plague hit them pretty hard. Now the whole district is up for grabs. I hear the Vorcha are making a move. Plague can't hurt them. Immune to disease. Just one more reason you don't want to go in there.
Tell me more about this plague.
It starts out as a cough. Then you start coughing blood. And, well, then I shoot you. It affects multiple species. Turians, Solarians, Krogan, you name it. Only humans are immune. And Vorcha, if you count them. An airborne disease that takes down multiple races. Can't let that spread. Hence the quarantine.
Any idea where I can find Morden's clinic?
Not a clue. What do you care? The place is quarantined, remember?
Listen, you're stuck here until this quarantine is over. That could take weeks. What you really need is to get this problem solved right now. That's what I do. Solve problems. Let me in and I'll get this district straightened out.
You think you can fix this? Why not? Quarantine is more to keep infected people in anyway. I'll radio ahead, tell them you're coming in.
Wait, you're stopping me, but not them? You son of a bitch.
You don't have a grenade launcher, lady. Get lost.
A quarantine zone for a plague that kills Turians. Why don't we ever go anywhere nice?
It's safer to stick with a squad who's immune to the plague.
It's your call, Shepard. If you need me, I'm not going to let a cough keep me back.
Okay, I'll take... I guess I'll take Jacob and Miranda. Obviously I know he would be fine, because I played this before, but... You know, let's go with a lore-appropriate setup. Okay, heavy overload, which is a much more damaging one, or area overload. I'll go with heavy. Your pulse now damages synthetic enemies so brutally that they explode on death. Let's give that Blackstorm Singularity Projector a chance.
Heading to cover!
Okay, I can't talk with those guards.
Good luck in there. The Blue Suns and Vorcha shooting anything that moves.
Guess they just left the dead in the streets.
Burning corpses. Must be trying to keep the plague from spreading.
Mechanical sciences. There's a Batarian victim that I can help.
Human. Should have guessed. Bad enough you infect us with this plague. Now you lack the decency to even wait until I die before you come to steal my possessions.
Is there anything I can do for you?
Get away from me, human. Your kind has done too much already. Your plague did this to me. Your faint pity is the final insult.
I need to find Morton Solus.
Humans looking for the human sympathizer. I hope the Vorcha burn Morton and his clinic to the ground. I hope you... I hope... Damn it. Damn you.
Hey, stay with me. This won't cure the plague, but it might help a bit.
Oh, you help me. Why?
It's what I do. I don't know if I can find a cure for this plague, but I'm gonna try.
Your words sound sincere. Maybe it's the fever. But as you said, what have I to lose? What do you wish to know?
Why are you so convinced humans are behind this outbreak?
The plague is too potent to be a naturally occurring virus. Airborne transmission across numerous species, near perfect mortality rate. It had to be created in a lab. And since humans are the only species not affected, there is only one logical conclusion.
Aren't the Vorcha immune to the plague? What if they spread the virus so they could take over the district?
Vorcha are immune to disease. A human-created plague wouldn't affect them. But if the Vorcha created the plague, why wouldn't it affect humans? Besides, the Vorcha aren't smart enough to make a virus like this. They're scavengers. Sorry, human. You may not want to believe it, but all the evidence points to your species.
You were talking about Vorcha earlier?
Before the quarantine, the Blue Suns controlled this district. But as their numbers fell to the plague, Vorcha moved in. The Blue Suns are fighting to protect their territory. But as the plague spreads, it's only a matter of time until the Vorcha overwhelm them.
I need to find Morton Solus.
He has a clinic on the far side of the district. He's taking in refugees, offering to help those infected with the plague. I was afraid to go to him before. He is dangerous, but perhaps he can help.
What makes Morton worse than dying from the plague?
The Blue Suns tried to press him for protection money. He killed them, stunned them with some kind of toxin, then gunned them down. He's not just a doctor. Doctors don't execute people and display the bodies as a warning.
When I find Morton, I'll tell him about you. If he has a cure, I'll make sure someone gets it to you.
Thank you. My time is running short, but at least you have given me a flicker of hope to brighten the darkness of my final hours. I don't want to die. Whatever Morden is, I will risk it if he can reach me.
I should go.
Goodbye, human.
Okay, so the main objective seems to be this way, so maybe this is just a side place here.
Looks like he tried to claw his way out. No one wants to die trapped like an animal.
Bastards see us in this room. Said we're infected. Idiots can't tell the difference between the plague and a simple cough. Nothing to do now but sit tight and wait for them to wise up. Good thing we brought a deck of cards. 2 days in. Nobody's even come by to check on us. Never thought the Blue Suns would turn their backs on me. This group used to stand for something. When I get out of here, I'm gonna make them pay. Davis isn't doing too good. I think he really does have the plague. Gotta get out of here before he infects me too. Davis died last night. He's still talking to me though. Good to hear his voice. The company is nice. Nobody should die alone.
So apparently the plague causes hallucinations as well, because he knew the other guy died, but he kept talking to him anyway.
The Blue Suns came by this morning and did something to my door. Now it won't open. Turned out the circuits, maybe. They said they were trying to control the spread of the plague. But I'm not even infected. Damn Turians. Must be some kind of extortion racket. Trap me in here for a day or two, then offer to let me out if I pay them off.
Well, that is probably not going to happen at this point. And I'm going to requisition your cash. All for the purposes of saving the galaxy, of course. Of course. But this episode has been long enough, so I'm going to save and end it for now. That's all for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.